Hello all heroes and welcome back to Invincible Guarding the Globe, and today we are going to be going over the event for the newest character to be added to the game, Powerplex. Coincidentally, or well, not coincidentally, but consecutively, that's the word I was trying to... No. He was released the same time as the episode. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Point is, concurrently, that's the word I was looking for. Released concurrently with his, debut in the official show. I got there eventually. I really did. I'm a little tardy to the party on this one, but we're not pulling an Agent Spider where I just totally miss it. So you know what? Better late than never is really the name of the game here, because, you know, I have a 1-year-old. Sue me. So we have the brand new character event. It is the whole shebang with the event shop and the GDA alert, so let's go over it here. The event, it's electric. Powerplex is one live wire. He can absorb just about any type of energy, which makes him very hard to hurt. He can also manipulate electricity. So first of all, we do have the event here, the mob business. This is your standard event to get currency. The pink currency is, of course, as always, to summon on the event shop. The blue chips here will increase the level of the op, and the silver chips here are for refreshes. It's a 5-minute thing. There are ways to min-max it. I tried it with the Inissa one last time around, and while I did technically see some benefit, it was just so much of a pain in the butt, so I'm just gonna say throw in your best and go nuts. It's a 5-minute op anyway. Not a whole lot of room for improvement regardless. If you can hit at least wave 35, I think you're doing pretty good. In my personal opinion. If you can hit 40, you're doing real good, but that's a little bit of a higher break point. Now of course, as per usual, you need the actual the access cards to get into the op right there. And we do have some freebies you can collect. My game's running a little slow here, but I think that's more of an internet thing than the thing with the game. If we go to missions here, you see we have logging in to get a couple of the refresh tokens, as well as the access cards for the op. We have actually completing the op. And then for more currency, we have recruiting heroes in the event shop, recruiting criminals, refreshing the event shop, purchasing all items, and reaching levels in the event shop. All of that will give you some of that tasty currency. And if we take a look at the event shop here, it is criminals focused. So we do have, of course, the headliner, Powerplex here, along with Titan, the Mauler twins, Seismic, and Angstrom Levy. You're gonna want to not... The typical strategy with this is don't be picky. And until you get to like shop level 7, maybe even shop level 8, don't be too picky, because you need to get that shop level up ASAP. So if you see an elite, go for it. Normally I would be saving up my currency quite a bit more, but we're actually... Now this is me personally, I am not speaking to the quality of the character, but I'm going to give this one a bit of a skip, and I'll explain why in a second. But if we go to the store here, as usual, we do have the bundles you can purchase, as well as the gem bundles. Now, I've noticed they have been doing a thing where, like, the first day, they will give you, like, 3 of these cards, 3 of the red cards for, like, 1,000 gems each, or 1,000 gems for the 3, and that's, like, a first-come kind of special that they have. But in addition to that, they have the usuals, so the 1,200 gem package here, and the 400 gem package to get more of those tasty access cards. All very usual stuff here, nothing new, nothing unusual. Now, let me just see if I completed any of the quests. Normally, I would probably spend gems to make sure I get that Mauler in the shop, but I'm kind of in mega saving mode. Not that I need to, because I got the happy hour thing, which was like 20,000 gems during the New Year's thing, which was real tasty. Not gonna lie, that was a banger of a deal. Can we get the Mauler? Yes, we can. Cool. Okay, that worked out. That worked out good. No, not punishing me here. But here's the thing. Like I said, I'm not speaking to Powerplex's whether he's good or bad. Frankly, I haven't looked into him enough to know. But the thing, Criminals is pretty undisputably the worst faction. Which is ironic considering they have Doc Seismic, who is quite possibly one of the top 3 characters in the game, like, unironically. So, it begs the question, what's dragging the faction down? Well, first of all, there's Titan, who is a good tank. In a game full of good tanks, you've got Alan, you've got Monster Girl, you've got the Immortal. Compared to them, Titan doesn't offer a whole lot. He's a brick wall. I mean, he is as stoned hard as its picture looks. That was some odd phrasing. Yeah, but he's a good tank, and that's it. The Maulers are a 2-for-1 pain special, because if you build one, you absolutely positively have to build the other. They're pretty difficult to use on their own. Now, if you do want to do like a 4 Mauler team, and I do say 4 Maulers because of Angstrom, which we'll talk about in a second here, they can punch way above their weight. But that also means you gotta build up 4 Maulers, and that's a lot. Speaking of Maulers, we have Angstrom, who is really only useful in a Mauler team. He can function fine as a general buffer, but he's really supposed to be in a Mauler team, period. I mean, his abilities, half of his abilities really focus on the Maulers, which means to make that team work, they don't have one good hero in the Mauler teams, whereas like Earth Defenders, you've got Invincible, Omni-Man. If you're going for more support, you've got Adam Eve. Red Rush has really come to his own lately. GDA, you've got the Immortal, Monster Girl. For Earth Defender, for From World Beyond, you've got half the dang roster. I mean, Alan is fantastic. Battle Beats is good. Some of the Viltrumites are I mean, From Worlds Beyond has gotten real stacked. Criminals is, like I said, of the 4 factions, they are the worst, which is ironic to say considering, like I said, Doc Seismic at least cops the bronze of just best heroes in the daggum game. If I had to list 3 heroes who are the best, probably Universa, because, I mean, personal bias aside, he is just that good, especially post-upgrades. Universa, Invincible, and then Doc Seismic, I would honestly say. I think that's pretty fair. Universa and Invincible you see a lot in Arena. Doc Seismic you see pretty regularly too. Maybe not quite as regularly as his predecessors, but you see a lot of Seismics. So, if you want a Seismic, if you're trying to build a Seismic who is one of the best characters in the game, do this event for him. And if you pick up some Powerplexes along the way, great. Or if you really are trying to build that Mauler team, go for it. If you do put in the work, they will punch way above their weight. But I've just got too much on my plate here. I'm trying to get my top 5 here in my Arena team, and then I'm going to kind of focus on building up each faction, which does include the Criminals. It's just they are way down on the totem pole, man. Aside from Seismic, I just have no desire to work on them at all. Now, Powerplex might change that. He does have some pretty cool abilities and could revitalize the faction a little bit, although he's interestingly kind of focused more on the technologist side of things. As his second ability here is focused on cooldown reduction for technologists. Who do we have that are actually technologists? Take a look at the old tabs here. Let's see. Who do we have? Okay, we've got Seismic. So, okay. He plays well with Seismic. That's a good note. Powerplex plays well with Seismic. Okay. That alone might put Powerplex pretty high on the list. He also plays well with the Maulers. He could kind of be a substitute Mauler because, like I said, to build up 4 Maulers is a lot. If you want to build up Angstrom 2 Maulers, you could put Powerplex in there and he can be kind of an honorary Mauler. You know, that could work. That could work. So, you know, like I said, it's not changing my mind of the event. We're doing a hard skip because, quite frankly, between her character event, the New Year's event, and then the From Worlds Beyond event, Anissa has drained me dry. Yes, I said what I said. So, I don't really care for Criminals also is the thing. Like I said, I've got the gems, but I just don't want to use them for Criminals. I just don't. Even though Powerplex actually looks pretty dang okay, especially the fact that he does work with technologists, which, you know, was a big today I learned moment where I realized that apparently a lot of the criminals are technologists. So, he might revitalize the faction pretty good. But I'm not going to go out of my way to find that out. Now, a couple more little things here. We do have a few new Cecil's Nightmares to briefly touch on. We do have the Nightmare Powerplex event. This one does require you to use Powerplex, so you do need to get a copy of Powerplex and level him up just a teensy-weensy bit. Even if you can only do like the first couple, that is better than nothing because you can get on the leaderboard and at least get a couple gems. Nothing crazy, but it is better than nothing. And if you do happen to power him up a little bit, you can get a lot more XP, you can get a lot more molecular enhancements, and if you make it up to 10 and I think 5, yeah, even 5, you can actually get some free elite maulers, which is no small feat. And then we do have the episode-based Nightmare, which, if I'm not mistaken, does not actually have a restriction on it. It looks like you can use anybody in the episode 6 Cecil's Nightmare. We'll probably go through that in the next video, as we are going to finally talk about the episodes that I have not talked about yet, but we will get there when we get there. So yeah, that is all we have for today. Let me know down in the comments below what you think. Like I said, do not take my skip as an insult to Powerplex, especially since he works for technologists, which most of the criminals are. I actually think he could be really good, and he could be the pun slightly intended, the jump start needed to get the criminals where they need to be. He can power up the Maulers, he can power up Doc Seismic, and anybody who can power up Doc Seismic even more than he already is gets a gold star in my book. But we're going to worry about that another day. For now, we're going to be taking a wee bit of a break from the character events, save up my resources, lick my wounds a little bit, because holy crap, Nissa was brutal to me. I mean, you can see, this is all you need to see. She's only been out for a month, and I'm at it. Not need I say more. But yeah, so that is where we are at. Gonna do a couple more videos while I have, you know, a rare thing we like to refer to as time, which I don't get very often. So yeah, look forward to that, and we shall see you next time. Have a good one.